All right. February 8th. Back at it. Your favorite uncle. Um, Appreciate y'all tuning in again. And you know me, we'll get right into it. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Um, a lot of things going on. Government shutdown, government back on. But now we had NFP postponed. So now that we have NFP this week and CPI this week, we could be looking at a really volatile week. A lot of moves happening. Could be some early week moves, some manipulation during the middle of the week, and once the dust settles, we could get some nice end of the week movement. So it's gonna be a really good week to trade. Um, let's get right into it. We'll start with the bonds. This one's pretty easy for me right now. I'm not even really looking at anything other than longs for bonds. So I'm long bonds, which I'm leaning, which would have me leaning short Dixie, so short the dollar. But I don't know how long this lasts for the bonds. So as of now, long bonds we swept. Let me tell you, we swept previous week low here, previous week low here, previous week low here. Barely. More like equal lows, but did we get it? The low 202. No, equal lows here, but so and a strong close above. So I would just anticipate more of that. And we'll see once we take previous week high if we get a reversal or something like that. And we'll just deal with that when we get there. But as of now, long bonds, and let's move on to Dixie. So uh Dixie on the monthly. Okay, so what we've done, this is still my long-term view. Um, you know, everybody knows this is my long-term view for the dollar. Now, how we get there, don't know yet, but we're still in this range, right? This monthly range. We just swept out. We've been in consolidation since what month is that? I'll just use that since May 2025, really. So been chop, nothing but chop. But we just swept the previous year low, and we had a nice close in January right above it. So I would be leaning long, intermediate term, I should say, long Dixie. We have a bunch of imbalances we could come fill. Um, but just on this time frame, and as you can see also as well, I'll keep this on my charts after we swept the 2024 lows. Um, well, after we ran through them, accumulation, manipulation, distribute. Now we've been accumulating for a long time. I would like to see some manipulation and then distribution again. Same power of three, say in AMD. Same cycle always. But on the weekly, what we've done is we've come into this weekly imbalance. So this is really a key pivotal point to see what we're going to do. What we're going to do inside this imbalance. Are we going to respect it, or are we going to, move higher and try to collect some liquidity up here? So on this daily chart, I have that we're right now we're in this range, right? We're in this daily range, right? And we've actually come into OTE premium of this range. And we have several spots that we could probably reverse from, right? Um, you have your order block here, you have imbalances to fill. We even have some up here, which is extreme premium. Um, or we could just run it all together. So if we do decide to respect this area, let me use this tool to respect this area. Okay. Um, you may see some type of manipulation here, run it, um, and there's your market maker model there. If not, if we decide to come up here and run this area, then we have all kind of imbalances up here at the top uh, to fill in. So we could be bullish for a while. Um, so even if we decide to come, and this is more of what I'm expecting, right? I'm expecting a little downside here. Yeah, we can come fill in this imbalance, um, come up here, find something, um, and this will be the telltale for me. Once we get here, what happens, right? But this is a lower time frame thing. So if I go to the 4 hour, right? this is exactly, oops, my bad guys. This is what I'm looking at, right? It's a little easier to see on the 1 hour, but right here we've had our breaker structure, right? Right here would be our shift, right? So either we come down here, we create a shift or a fake shift, right? Depending on what we look like when we close. Um, we could come down here, you know, and then we're up. Or, we could come down here and immediately reject, break that structure, and we're up here. So if you check the 1 hour, and this is where I like to look at my structure on the 1 hour, right? Um, so from here, we just came down. So on the 1 hour, I'm bearish, right? And on the 4 hour, I'm bearish. We came down here, we took this internal market structure shift, right? So I'm inclined to be looking at a pump to start the week, right? And maybe gaps up and maybe a failure swing up here and then to the lows. Now, I don't know if it'll be before news, because of news, or whatnot. And we could also take the highs and take the lows, right? Double sweep. But as of now, I'm bearish, and that's how I'm going to be sitting, right? We'll get into the Forex side, but I really want to get into indices really quick. Um, Indices, I am all about US 30 this week. All about it. This was a magnificent daily candle close, right? Now we have our monthly SMT divergence with all of these. So I have Dow as the strongest. And if we go to the week, let me go to the weekly real quick because this will show you the strength between ES and NQ. Okay, so because we have this SMT, I'm looking at these two, but I'm looking at how they closed. Look how this one closed compared to this week. It tried to drive up. They tried to push the price down, really couldn't get it. But see how this one closed below this previous week? So this is the strongest. ES is second. NQ's lagging, right? Now, and that's because of NVIDIA. Um, if if I was trading anything, which I will be, I'll be looking to trade the Dow this week. Might lay off NQ, and maybe pick up some points on ES if this moves too high. But this is what I'll definitely be looking at this week. So if we're looking at this 4 hour, right? I have my little volume profile here. Let me just remove that. I don't need that right now. But well, I'll leave this up here for a second. This volume profile signals right here at the point of control. This is your order block. These are your imbalances. And this is really where I'm going to be looking for price to reverse to and try to take something off up here. I'm gonna try to get in right here. Hold on one second here. Uh, all right, now when it comes to metals, everybody's favorite gold is probably the most volatile commodity asset on the market right now. That and silver. You have prop firms restricting commodity trading. So if you can even still trade it on your prop, good for you. Um, but I know my funded futures, they sent an update restricting trading in major commodities, including gold and silver. And you can't even open micros, and if you can, they're limited as well based on your account size. Um, Top Step, same thing. They've been blocking gold and silver entirely on certain funded accounts. And some traders have even been saying you can't even open one micro, right? And that's just something that they're trying to mitigate risk, right? So my my theory is that they're taking positions as well, right? And so what they're doing is that they're taking the position that if gold, they're taking long positions. And if they're saying that, hey, if we have longs, right, and everybody else is longing, we'll restrict them, we'll make some money, and we'll pay them out of what we put our position size in. But if we lose, all the traders lose their money. We can mitigate some risk, so we can take a little loss. And so we either all win, but I'll restrict your winning, or we all lose, and I have enough money to be solvent if we lose, and you'll just buy more accounts. So it's kind of a win-win for them. So, but we saw this coming. We knew this was going to happen. But just as far as the charts, listen, we had that sell-off, and then we had that. This is them saving the banks. This is allowing banks to enter long positions. So they mitigated their short positions. They got in longs here, and so we're in this overall range, but we're in this micro range right here, or mini range. And what I was saying is this: you have this here, right? So we filled in these gaps, these imbalances, if you want to call that your demand zone, order block, whatever. Um, that we came in here, we touched down, and then let's go to the 1 hour, right? So now what we have internally is we came out here, took sell side, and we flipped internally, right? So we're bullish. What I would like to see is, I would like to see oh my God, what is happening? I would like to see a move down here, right? And then another lower time frame switch. And at the very least, we take it here to this side. Once we're up here in this area, right? Do we continue long? I don't know, right? But I would actually like to see us long here. So if we're here, we get here, right? We come back here, we test this, and then we take off. I would actually like to see that. And I would like to see everything coinciding. So I would like to see majors long. I would like to see Dixie shorts. And that would just everything would be in sync. Everything would be in unison, and we can trade better that way instead of gold and Dixie running together and indices running opposite of one another. It's just that just makes it a little tougher. So we want to start the year with some bangers, with some big wins. Yo, shout out Toast with the 18% last week. Nasty work across Forex and his futures accounts, man. I'm like, golly, man. So, yeah, shout out Toast. All right. So anyway, back to the program. What I did want to say, so same thing in silver. Silver's a little weaker. So we did come down. We did break structure again here. But I am expecting a flip. I just think it's lagging a little bit. So I'm expecting the same flip. And I'll tell you why. I looked at platinum. I don't really trade platinum, but I just think the chart looks good, right? So what we had, let's go to the daily. What you had was this sell-off, right? Same thing with all the metals, right? So we came up here, we broke structure, but then we came down here and we took this sell side, right? And we took it again, right? So we had a double sweep. There's nothing under here, right? Unless we're going to start getting into this business, right? And we're not. We're just not going to do that. There's not enough quote unquote selling pressure to even get down here. So this was a beautiful Friday close, right? And if we look on the 1 hour on this, I mean, this doesn't get more textbook, to be honest with you, right? So your market maker complete. We get no closes under here. You get a slight close, but that's whatever. And then you get a move up. So if I can get a move here, I want to get it. I want to try to get in somewhere in here. Um, and I'm going to be looking to ride this at the very least back to the 50, right? Of that range. So, um, let me move this range down. Oops, that's not the same one. Am I on that range? Oh yeah, I'm already on that range, right? All right, got it right. So at least to there. So with that, um, we can get a good move. I don't see a reason for it to come back down here again after it swept this, you know. Um, and if it does, I'm just wrong, and we'll just deal with it then. So, moving right along. let's get over here. Let's start on the daily and here to the basket. Now, I've been waiting on this move, and this is my own fault for waiting, right? I've been waiting on this move to come back in here and test this area for so long, right? And I'm thinking this is it. This is the move I hold, and I buy all my friends Lamborghinis, right? But here's the issue, right? I've officially flipped bias. Um, and let's go to the weekly real quick. This was such a nasty work, right? This was disgusting this week. And here's the reason. Japan has elections today, and the overwhelmingly favorite, 99% is Takachi, right? And she's almost a landslide to win, right? It's almost locked, and I'm starting to think that prices are um, already been implemented into the charts for her to win because all of her fiscal policies are bearish for the yen itself, for the currency of yen. So it would be bullish for all pairs involved, and so we may see a gap. We could see a gap either way. I expect the opening gap to be quite large. I would love to see a gap down. I would love to see a gap down. That way we can trade off of that and we can take longs for the entire week. And I would be holding for the next couple weeks, just because her all of her policies literally have them trying to trying to force the yen, just trying to force the yen further in decline. So that they can basically break the entire system to rebuild it. And I think that's literally everybody's plan right now. Break the system, rebuild it. But they're trying to push it down, and then you have the U.S. dollar trying to push their system down so that they can break it. So if Walsh does get elected Fed chair, he's going to be doing the same thing the Takachi wants to do. So just looking at the chart, I mean, you know, I definitely expect we may come up here. Like I said, we may gap up, but I expect further decline. So from here, I don't expect this leg right here. I don't expect us to breach this leg. Um, and if we do happen to breach it, I'll sit out until after NFP and everything else, and try to assess afterwards. But let's go to JUSD JPY. So um, I'm definitely bullish on this pair. It almost looks like gold. So I expect us. We took 2025 high, we sold off, got this break, but I think that's a false. I think this was a false move. So this is just going to become a monthly wick. Um, so I think we headed up. We're heading up, and how far we get to, I don't know, but uh, that's just that's just the end of that. So JPY pairs, we are buying and we are holding. Um, as far as euro pound, so we do have equal highs here, but I'm still expecting after we broke this low here. We just came back in, and I expect us to just continue to sell off. We take these lows here. So when it comes to euro pound this week, I'm bearish. Um, I am bearish, so that means I am expecting euro to be weaker than the pound. For Aussie New Zealand, same thing. I'm just expecting more upside to these highs, so I'm expecting Aussie to be stronger than New Zealand. So we'll start doing our pairings at the end. Now, once we flip, we have a bunch of stuff to come target, but that might be for the next quarter. Um, so for our CAD CHF, this is one of my favorite pairs this week, actually. So what you have on the weekly, right? We have this slight range right here on the weekly, right? Um, and we came back in the OTE. We actually hit 61.8 almost perfectly. Let's get down to the daily. Um, perfectly and we sold off. Now, two things could happen, right? We could continue to sell off, or let's get this. We could continue to sell off, and go back down. Damn, that was disgusting. It's ugly as hell. Continue to sell off and take that, or we could take this high, and this could be a point of interest that we sweep that and then we sell off. But I am expecting a sell off, so I am bearish on CAD Chef this week. If we get down to the 1 hour here, we haven't done anything yet as far as shifting structure. So I would need we either I'm gonna just use this one. We either need to come down here, um, break this low, preferably a closure below here, and then we can just continue here, or we would need to, we could come down here, um, create failure swings, take the high of that, fill in some of these imbalances here, and then we sell off, right? So either way, either one, I'm not doing anything until one of these, either this high is taken or this low is taken, right? So I would prefer actually to see that. I would like to see that. And then you could just hold to the lows, but still bearish. So um, let's get over to Bitcoin. Let me see. Am I missing anything that I wanted to talk about? Let me just see real quick. Nah. Let's get over to Bitcoin real quick. All right. So let's get to the monthly. Um, Same issue, same thing with Bitcoin, man. We've sold off. Now we've been selling off for months on Bitcoin, right? Um, and it's just this month has just been a continuation so far. Now we did get some relief right here, and on this weekly, you know, once we ran this low right here, it looked like we had a little bounce, right? Now, I fully expect us to get here. I fully expect 50,000, and then this area, this golden area I'm looking at, what we do here decides what's really going to happen with Bitcoin. Um, I don't care which way it goes. I'm actually, look, I have it here. I'm buying everything under here. Here I'm gonna start dollar cost averaging all my Bitcoin, but everything under here, every single day, I will be buying whatever I can in Bitcoin and Ethereum, XRP, all that kind of stuff. I would literally, because just even a move back up here, you change your life. So now, just for the chart purposes, do we? I think we. I think we see this. Do I think we see it this week? I don't know. But you could take the counter trend play back up here to fill in some of these imbalances and lower time frame imbalances, and then maybe we sell off, or you might see a lot of this, for a little bit, and then once we get into the second quarter in April, um, maybe we start to sell off here, right? So the rest of this could be just accumulating, and then we start declining, and then we start declining this way, right? And then all of a sudden somebody says something crazy, and then Bitcoin's the move again. So that's really where I'm looking at that. It's a long-term thing, but I'm not going to look to trade intraday. And if I do, it probably will be a little counter trend play back into this range here. So same thing with ETH. This is why I had this reversal POI here. So I'm waiting. This is for me with ETH. This is my standard deviation on my daily, right? So what I do is take my last leg, right? So this is the last leg that actually broke right here. So from this high to this low, one standard would be here. So maybe we sell off a little bit here and come down, and then I'll be looking to take something back into the range, right? Um, and that's just simple trading for me for this one, because I don't know. Once you start getting closure below the 75, it's probably going to take the low. And if it does, it does. Not tripping, but that's really all I have. So let me go to my copper, because where's my monthly copper? Actually, where's my 3 month? or 12 month. Yeah, there we go. Let's open that up a little bit. I should just do this on a piece of a blank sheet. Okay. So my relative strength, what I have right now, I have Aussie stronger than New Zealand. New Zealand stronger than the Euro and Pound. Pound stronger than CHF and CAD. And USD. I still have this as temporary. Just this could flip, right? Just in the short term, short in the interim, right? I still have it as my weakest, one of my weakest pairs. And then these two could be interchangeable for short term. Well, not just these two. JPY could be. It just depends on what you get with this election. And um, Chef is also a good one to look at because we could have Chef move up here, but there's nothing stronger than Aussie and New Zealand right now. Nothing. So I wouldn't even anything Aussie, New Zealand. I wouldn't even be looking to short. Um, and if it's on the other side of it, so we want to short anything in front of Aussie, New Zealand. So I'm shorting. This is what I'm looking to short this week. This is what I'm looking to long this week. Um, and I'm definitely looking to execute on a Dow, specifically longs. And again, because we were in that range in Dixie, you might see stuff going in the same direction. So you might see USD CAD and Aussie USD going in the same direction. Um, don't let it fool you. Stick to what you know. Stick to your charts. Whatever it's showing you, don't predict. This is not the week of prediction. Just allow it to play out. Give yourself a little more time, a little more confirmation, and make some money this week. And as always, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I will catch y'all next week.